Hey guys, so
We can go in the cat room.
cat room. So we're currently at the Humane Society, and Gabby's getting a second dog. And his name is what? Are you keeping that name?
Can we change the name?
You can.
I don't know if he's 3 years old, and I don't think he's gonna reintroduce to a new name.
I like his name.
Max.
His name's Max, and he's really
Max.
cute. He's 3 years old. So we're gonna take him back to her house, and
I
yeah.
wonder when his birthday is. Should we just?
All right.
Only alcohol.
Where to begin?
Simple.
No, it's not.
So
simple.
as you know, I have a dog named Lola. It's the Shiba Inu. Duncan, get down.
Duncan.
I don't know. I thought she was lonely. She seemed lonely, like she would howl on the camera. I have a camera in my house. She seemed like she would howl every time I'm gone. Every time I looked at the camera, she was howling or something. So I thought she may wanted a friend, and I thought I could handle like 2 dogs. So me and Ben decided to go to the Humane Society. That's something in Wisconsin that we have. It's like a shelter.
A shelter, yes.
So we walked around. So it's like since COVID happened, there's like a little
Waiting
list. So it's like a little QR code you scan before you go into the place. And we were like number 12. I think it was number 12.
Number
19 or one of those. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't remember the number, but yeah, it goes slowly because there's a bunch of. So like if you're like the longest in line, don't expect it's about to go by quickly because the counselor's got to get papers and pull the dog out for you to see if you like it or not. So we saw a bunch of dogs. There was one that looked like a goat, but it was like I think it was like a Shih Tzu or something.
It was rad.
But it was like it was the head was shaved and it was just fluffy.
But we waited.
I hate story times like this when you're just sitting there talking about absolutely nothing.
But we're not. But we are. But we were there for like 2 hours, and I'm like,
I think it was longer than that.
2.5. And then it was like 3.5. But so I was like, I'm ready to go. So either we hurry the fuck up, or I'm gonna leave because I need to go. I need to go somewhere. So we were like, oh, well, let's just go get some food real quick at this restaurant.
Bitch, you skipping the whole motherfucking story time.
Am I?
Yeah, you'll jump into a whole nother part.
Okay.
So anyways, after we got on the waiting list, we sat there forever. We walked around looking at all the dogs. There was not many options that I wanted, but there was one dog that we really liked. I think his name was Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
His name was Ghost. He was pretty cute. And he was like, they don't list what the dogs are, so he's sleepy. He looked like he's like on like high or something, so he keeps like nodding off or closing his eyes. But yeah, his name was Ghost, and that was the dog I was wanting. But I was like number 12 in line when somebody kind of like viewed him, and like they have this thing at the Humane Society. It's kind of like first come first serve. So they have like these 2 sheets. There's a green one and there's a pink one. So the pink ones mean they're adopted. The green ones mean being considered to be adopted. So, yeah. So, Ghost I didn't get. There were some other dogs I was considering, but I wasn't sure. Then there was another dog on the other side, and Max. His name's Max. So this is the story time about him. Anyways, so we got down to like number 7, and then Ben's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, okay, let's just go to this place named Daddy's, a soul food place. So they sell like greens, mac and cheese, fish, chicken, ribs, fried chicken, baked chicken, you know, all the other stuff like burgers and a lot of stuff. So when I got there, I had got down to 1. So I had to hurry up and speed back, which was only 4 minutes away. So I had to hurry up and go back and speed back.
I had to wait for my food, though.
Because he already paid. So, yeah. So I had to hurry and go speed back. And then I told the counselor, I was like, hey, I'm considering Max. And then, but Ghost was still there, but he was also being still considered. So the counselor was like, just in case they don't want him, we'll put your green paper behind their green paper. So I was like, okay. So then he spent like 30 minutes, 20 minutes going to get both of the dogs' paperwork. So it's mainly Max. And Max seemed like a perfect dog. Max is a boy, Lola's a girl. She's not spayed yet, but she didn't go into heat at all. She was still like, she was about 7 months or 8 months. 8
right.
months.
So then I got back, and then they were like, okay, do you guys want to go in the room, this little room with him, and meet him? So we went in there, and he locked the door behind us, which kind of creeped me out. But I was like, okay.
It was just because he didn't want him to run out. But there's usually a big area you go in. He made it seem like the dog was perfect.
That should have been red flag number 1, that he didn't let us go in the big area.
That was because another family was already in there, and then he was just like, oh, okay, we were just going to go in this area, so.
So he wasn't super big. At least he didn't seem super big. But he seemed great. And we're like, okay, we'll take him.
Yeah, he was like, he's a high energy dog. He's like super playful, so.
Good with kids.
Good with kids. They didn't say he couldn't be with another dog.
Right.
The only thing they said about him was that the family returned him because the owner got sick or was too old to take care of him, but they had 2 kids, which like I think they were like 18, like 14 or 12. So they could have took care of the kids, but I guess something they wasn't saying about the dog, so
well, so we were like, okay, we'll take him, and it was half off day, so he was only $100.
It was Valentine's Day when I got him. It was like February 14th.
Yeah.
Or no, it wasn't that exact day, but it was like a Valentine's Day sale. So you had to like, I think the 27th of February to that deal was gone.
Yeah.
And it was for like any dog over 3.
No, it was any dog.
Right? No. The half off sale was only for the older dogs, so they could get him out.
Shit, I did not know that. Well, so he was like 100, and then the leash was like 15, so it was like 115, 20. So we're like, okay, so we paid for him, and they were gathering his things, and they're like, oh, by the way, he's on anti-anxiety pills, and we're like, okay.
And then he had to get special food. I think it was like medicated or something. It was like, I think Purina something, but which wasn't really special food, but
So
which, not saying that a dog with a medicine is a lot of work, but I would literally have to go from like going to not doing a lot of work for my dog to going to a lot of work to doing that dog, and I wouldn't want my dog to get a hold of those pills or anything.
Hell no.
And so he was also a boy, and he was way much bigger than Lola. But anyways, getting ahead of his story time.
Yeah, getting ahead.
Hold up, back up.
Okay.
So I filled out a bunch of paperwork. Ben had to pay for it because I didn't have the money at the time, but I ended up paying him back.
Yeah.
I ended up paying him back. So I told Ben had to go somewhere, but I was like, can you just help me get set up with Lola and Max?
But before we even left the room when we were visiting with him, he said, oh yeah, and like as you take him out, just make sure he doesn't go around other dogs. And we're like, okay.
Which should have been a red flag, but we were just like, oh, like mean like other dogs like heading outside or something. But no. Yeah,
and then so we paid for him, blah blah blah, which took a little bit. Checked out, blah blah. And then the girls at the front were like, oh yeah, just bye Max, bye. Make sure he doesn't go around other dogs. And we were like, okay.
We ignored that shit. We were just super excited.
Super excited because he was really excited, but then.
Should I mix Nova's story in here too?
We can get we'll do that. We'll do it at the end. Okay, so then he went with her
in my car.
Her car back to her apartment.
And then he took his car to my apartment.
Yeah.
So the counselor was like, take your dog out the house and you bring the other dog in. So I took Lola out, and then he brought Max into the house.
To sniff.
But then, I don't know, but Ben didn't give Max time to like sniff everything and realize there's another dog here. He was just like, are you gonna come up?
Yeah.
So I came up the stairs, and Lola like yanked at her leash, and it like
She got off.
She got loose and she ran right up to him. She seemed okay, but he wasn't okay. He started to freak out.
Yeah, it's almost like he kind of
like it. I don't know if it was aggression barking. I don't know.
He kind of like seemed like he was gonna like snap on her. He's snoring. He seemed like he was gonna snap on her because she was too friendly, and so we separated really fast. I'm like, Gabby, get your dog, get your dog.
So I put Lola in my bedroom and we kept Max out here. Then about 10 minutes later, we tried it again. We put Max out on my balcony, and then we brought Lola out, and then he was like pushing like hard against the glass, like
he was like
he was gonna break it and barking, and I'm like, I don't think this is it. And then it was like, good luck. And then his boyfriend called and made a big fuss because they had some plans to go to some shoe store.
Being a crybaby.
So we're not gonna get into that. But.
No, so then we put Lola back in her bedroom, and then we tried to put Max back on the balcony, but he figured out what was already going on, and he's like, nope. He like wouldn't go back on the balcony because he knew we were trying to keep him out there. So then she's sitting on the couch, on the edge of the couch, like just looking at him like.
Because I'm like, I don't. We don't know this dog, and we know Lola. Cause I got Lola when she was 3 months, like a puppy, like I actually bought her. And we don't know anything about him. He's 3 years old. We don't know what type of dog he is, but the counselor is saying he might be part husky because of his vocalness or something. And I'm like, okay, but he don't look like husky. So, which I have plenty of videos of how the night went. Not like while we were at the Humane Society. I think we got one video when we were at the Humane Society. And then I have a couple of videos through the night. Sorry, the snoring. That's Duncan.
But I'll include them like somewhere in the video. I'll just include them clips, or maybe at the end. But so, all of a sudden, once Lola's away, now we're just looking at.
We didn't even tell you. He looks like Lola, but he's huge.
He's a lot bigger than her. We didn't realize how big he was until they were next to each other.
I think he was like 38 pounds.
He looked a lot bigger than 38 pounds. But nothing. So now I'm just standing there. She's sitting there, and he looked kind of a little mean. Like we didn't know how he was just
like kind of like running around the house, sniffing.
He didn't listen.
He know how to sit. Like, I love that. Oh, yeah, the counselor said he know how to sit. So that's what's kind of sold us. And, like, he was, like, the same type of energy, type vibe, like Lola. But another story when we got home. When I got home.
It was, like, once he was there, he gave an energy of now. I was like, this bitch might bite me.
What you never can know. That's why I wanted to take Lola to the Humane Society with me. So just in case, like, I could see if she would react.
The thing about Lola is she needs a very, like...
little dog.
Calm,
like a medium...
submissive dog.
Like, she needs the same energy as her, which I'll probably get the same breed as her. Along the lines, maybe when she's, like, 1 or 2.
Which would be cute. That'd be a good idea. Because some dogs are antisocial and they don't want a dog being too friendly, and then they'll bite them.
But also the counselor said about Max that he would guard the children while they were asleep. So I think he was just trying to be protective of me and Ben, kind of.
But it didn't
It didn't work out. So I had called...
Well, I was just going to say, I even tried to text people and be like, anybody want a free dog? He's really sweet. Just don't have any other dogs. And nobody wanted him.
So I called the Humane Society. I'm like, hey, I just left with Max. I think I'm it was only been like, I think an hour since we left. And like the website said they were closed, like the little GPS thing said they were closed because I got them on a Saturday and they were closed on a Sunday, but not really. So I called and I was like, hey, I just got Max. Well, the adoption center's closed, but the vet area is open. So I called on a Saturday. I called and I said, I just got Max. He's not working out with my dog. I'm afraid for my dog's life. It seemed like he would snap her neck, which is a brutal thing to say. But
it's the truth. It's the truth. So
and my dog's little, and Lola has to come first, no matter what, because she was here first. Not expensive, but I love Lola to pieces. Okay. She's my little poo poo.
Well, right, but also, Lola was like $2,000, and he was like $100. So
right, but I would have kept him if I didn't have Lola, because he was a very sweet dog, and he was very Lola. Oh, they also say he pulls at his leash when he walks.
He did.
like what she almost like dragged me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I just would never adopt a dog after that because it definitely you just don't know who the dog is.
I mean, yeah, it's good to buy, but it's just like you never know how other dogs are. So you can adopt. I mean, like they say it takes about a week to like a dog to get used to another dog. But my house isn't. It's my apartment. It's like a condo. It isn't that big, so I didn't have that time. So I had to take him back immediately because I didn't know what would happen because I had work like Monday.
Yeah.
So
So that was a no.
So I ended up keeping Lola in my bedroom that night because Ben ended up leaving because he had to go back to his boyfriend. But so after Ben left, I ended up sleeping on the couch out with Max. I know I should have like comforted my own dog, but like if I put Lola out in the living room and Max in there with me in the bedroom, Lola know how to scratch into my bedroom because the door is kind of a little bit janky.
A little bit. Just a lot of it.
But so she know how to scratch into it, and I didn't want her to like end up like letting him out. Like I would have slept out in the living room, and she could have slept out in the living room, but I didn't want her to end up getting him loose, so I just slept out in the living room with him, and he basically sat by me the whole time. Did you hear that? So he basically sat by me the whole time, but he's kind of jumpy. They say he was kind of jumpy at any loud noise.
You like to bark?
Yeah, bark a lot with any type of noise. Bark and whine a lot.
Gotta go.
So I didn't record that Sunday of taking him back, but I did like take a picture with him in the car when I was heading back, and I tried to do a little video because I don't think I ended up getting a video in the car when I was taking him back on Sunday morning because I think they opened up at like 10 or 11. Well, 10, and so like I left the house at like 9:50 something, so I could get there.
They open.
The people seem nonchalant, like they seem like kind of upset, but like my dog has to come first.
Shit's probably happened before too with him.
Probably, but so yeah, walked him into the car. Walked him out of the car, walked him towards the building, buzzed, and I was like, "Hey, I'm here to return a dog."
Got to take it back.
So I was just like, I told the lady, I made sure to tell her, I'm like, I don't think he can't be with dogs, but I just didn't have a week because I think she's like a vet or something, a vet tech or something. I don't know. But she was like, yeah, it takes a dog like a week to like get a dog acclimated to each other, and I'm like, I don't have a week. And plus, it was a lot of barking and whining, and he was just scared of every noise, and I'm like, that ain't good. And I'm like, which is not bad. It's your dog. It takes time to train, but like, he's 3 years old. I don't have the time.
So yeah, it was a big fat no. And looking back, I'm like, what the fuck were we thinking? Because he was big.
He was big. Like I should have just got the little goat looking dog.
It looked like a goat with cancer, and it was also looked mini.
But every dog in the shelter has a problem, so
they all have issues.
Like they were surrendered for a reason.
Except the one puppy. There was one puppy.
Oh yeah, it was like
cute.
I think it was like a dachshund.
Really little.
Like a really fat dachshund.
But it was expensive. So.
No.
Like
yeah, there was one.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but
it was a lab.
all the younger ones are expensive and they don't count in the sale. That half off deal, so. There was one that I really liked it, but it was already went home. So like, if you're thinking about getting a puppy and you see him on there, you better either have that QR taken a picture of already, so you can just instantly put yourself in the line, like right before they open or something. And this don't really count for y'all because I don't know if y'all in Wisconsin, so.
I don't assume it's just Wisconsin.
I think it is. I think it's only because if we had other shelters, I'm pretty sure we'd get a nicer puppy. Like, I guess it's best to, like, raise the puppy up. Like, get your dog. But Lola loves other dogs. She loves to play. But I think she really likes being the only child. And then I tried again with an actual puppy.
Should this be your channel? Should we go a different puppy? You want a puppy channel?
To be continued.
Okay, so that's gonna be different story time, and it'll be on Gabby's channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this story time.
We talked a lot, but I tried to make it fast as possible to explain the story.
It was that was detailed, very detailed, because that was the story. But yes, you have to send me that pictures and videos because I don't have them. I have one. Send me that shit. So anyway, part 2. There's gonna be a part 2 again. Here goes Gabby getting another damn dog she shouldn't be getting. And this all happened within like 2 weeks of each other. So part 2 is gonna be on Gabby's channel. Link. I don't know if I can put the link below. I'll put the link below.
I'll find it.
Okay.
It was in February. That's Max. Wait, no, that's Lola.
No.
They look the same, so it's hard to decipher. That's Lola, my
You're the baby. You're the baby. You're the baby. You're the baby. Sit down, baby. Okay, guys. I'm going to film part 2. Part 2.